WD18 outside Vicky's Riders finished. Watford 1, Spurs 1. Player ratings time. Shane, how are you going this?
Relatively busy first half. I thought he was doing well. A lot of offsides, obviously, for Spurs. Second half, he went down injured. I was very worried when he went down injured, and I saw Karnezis warming up, and I'm like, no. But he did well, did what he had to do relatively well. I think there was one incident where I think he came to catch the ball, but I think he dropped it or something, but he was able to recover. I'd give him an 8.
I thought he had one of his quieter games today. He's always a breath of fresh air down that right-hand side, but overall he was kind of nullified by Ben Davies. I think the formation didn't really help him, so I'll give him 6 out of 10. Then we'll go on to the right centre-back, Adrian Mariappa.
Do you know what? I thought he struggled a little bit in parts of the game. He looked okay. I didn't think it was one of his best performances. I think his mind was obviously occupied by the likes of Ali and Son, etc. He did relatively well, did the job he had to do. A couple of decent clearances. Ooh. I'm going to give him a 6. Yeah,
I think a 6 fair. Then we've got Sebastian Prado. I said on at the United game he did look a little bit out. He looked off fitness. But today he looked a little bit better. I have to say, in the first half he was getting caught out of position due to Kane's movement, which you've got to applaud. Kane's one of the best strikers in the league, so I think you kind of expect that. But in the second half he looked a lot more comfortable. I think that was kind of helped by the 10 men. So I think I'll give him a 6. I think it was better than the United game, so I'll give him a 6. And then Christian Kabasele getting that goal.
Yeah, do you know what? Honestly, I'm so happy for him. I really am. He's a hard-working player. He's cemented that centre-back position. He's kind of made it his own as well whilst Prodo's been out injured and all that, and we've had the changes in our personnel at the back, and he's done really well from it. Took his goal well, defensively solid, I should say.
I don't think the yellow card helped him.
No, the yellow card didn't help, but then again, I think if we were to go back over the full 90 minutes again, how many of our yellow cards were actually yellow cards? It was just ridiculous. I've chatted about that already, so I'm going to give him a 9 because he got a goal. Yeah. I think he's deserved it. His defensive performance have deserved it.
Marvin Ziegler, the last 2 games he hasn't been playing as well as he did it away at Newcastle. I actually think away games suit him better to play on the break and give him the licence to go forward. But he looked a little bit cautious going forward today. I think I'd probably put him on par with Feminier. Both players didn't really do a lot going forwards, but looked okay defensively, so I'll give him a 6 as well. And then we'll go into centre midfield. We'll start with Tom Cleverley.
It's just Cleverley.
Performance.
It was just another Cleverley performance. I noticed he was the guy mostly recycling the balls, I think, by way of our attacks as well, closing the ball down. His link-up play, I think, could be a little bit better, like Carrillo and Kiko. It's almost as if Kiko and Carrillo were on some sort of a wavelength. Not the same wavelength, but they were on a wavelength together. Cleverley was in there as well. Decent enough performance. I'll give him a 7.
You've got the man alongside him. I'll do Decore. Actually, I got a little bit of stick on last game for saying it was probably one of his worst performances this season because he has been setting the bar so high. But today, I think it was another similar performance similar to the United game. Dembele, it was a strong midfield, and we can't really expect Decore just to take the game by the scruff of the neck. So I think 5.5. I think 6. Yeah, I just think it was an average performance. And then we've got Bobby Pereira.
I really liked him actually. First half I thought he was getting easily muscled off the ball, etc. Second half he looked a lot better. Getting onto the end of the ball, Rookie were giving him a lot of encouragement as well. I don't understand why he was taken off for Carrillo. I imagine the reason, having had a bit of a think about it, maybe the big reason for that was Silva has stated that he wants to bring him back slowly. He has the capacity, I think, to do 90 minutes. I just think Marcus playing it quite risk-free, playing him easy. 67 minutes, decent shift. He was one of our brightest sparks, really, and I'm of the opinion now that had he stayed on, I think we would have forced that goal. I think we would have.
Sorry, what did you give him?
I give him a 7.
I think we relied a little bit too much on Richarlison today. We were trying to go down the left flank a little bit too much for my liking. He has been playing well. But I think we're trying to put him too much pressure on him.
I think the bloke needs a bit of a rest, to be honest with you. He's been going at it, any fucking hammer and tongs down that side, always running. I just sometimes think he overplays it a little bit. There are times where you could make a simpler pass, he could just knock it into the area. He was more concerned about, doing flicks and tricks in the corner. You could just could just pop the ball in there. He looked lively. He was causing Spurs a lot of causing Spurs a few problems, and ultimately he got Sancho sent off, didn't he? Because had the elbow not happened, he would have been clean through. Menace to Spurs. I just think he needs to work. I've said it before. He needs to work on his physicality a little bit. He gets muscled off a little bit too easily for me.
That's why he does go down a little
He's
easier.
done bloody well for us this season, and for a 20-year-old, he's settled in so fucking well. I mean, teams like Spurs obviously want him. Teams like Chelsea wanted him. So we're aware of his quality. 6.5.
Yeah, I don't think it was one of his best games. And then we'll move on to Troy Deeney, who did come in for Andre Gray. I actually thought it was a very professional performance from Troy. He was winning the balls in the air. He was roughing up the Spurs back line. And he did more than Andre Gray, to be honest with you, in the last couple of games. I think I would have put on Andre Gray a little bit earlier to partner him. A bit more of a threat up front because we were lacking a little bit in behind. But I think overall, I'll give Deeney a 7 today. Move on to the substitutes. Former Tottenham man, ENQUIRIES.
Actually, do you know, I was surprised when he actually came on. I'm like, whoa, really? We're bringing him on? I mean, he wouldn't be the first guy I would have brought on, personally. But he had a really good game. He was really putting that defence under pressure. I think we were playing Capoue, was playing just behind Troy Deeney. I think that's how we did it, and then ultimately they kind of split up and they tried to close down the actual defence. He did his job really well. He won the ball a couple of times, he put in some brilliant pressure, I thought, on some of the defenders. Won a couple of free kicks.
Similar to last season, actually.
He did, yeah. One really bad incident that happened. He crossed the ball in. Please, Etienne, never cross the ball in, mate. You can't cross. Which might seem a bit harsh, but ultimately. Decent game. I'll give him a 5.
Then Carrillo came on. I actually said he deserved a starting spot after his United kind of little cameo. Then I realised some of his crossing ability, and I thought stay on the bench, mate. I think 4.5, 5. Finally, Andre Gray, who came on for about 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, he looked good actually when he came on. In all fairness, I was kind of hoping he'd come on a little bit earlier. Had one good chance in the box, man. Troy headed it onto him. All he had to do was turn, have a shot. All he did was turn and just. I'm like, the goal's there. Yeah. You need a goal. Have a shot. Try something. Do something. It was very. I was a bit pissed off actually with that. But he should have come on a bit earlier. I'm starting to agree with what a lot of people are saying now. I think Troy needs to start home games. Andre Gray for away games. I think that kind of makes sense. That works. Troy did have a good game today. I just think he would have benefited from someone else up there with him in the last 10 minutes or so. Once that sending off occurred for Spurs, they were getting penned back, and I think someone else up there with Troy earlier, maybe, getting onto the end of some of Troy's knockdowns and all that would have really put them under pressure. Andre, 5.
Stay our player ratings. Let us know yours in the comment section below. Leave a like if you have enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.